Hey, my name is Vonix and this is reacting to your gaming setups part number 3. About a year ago I uploaded part 2 and since then you guys are constantly telling me to make another one. So here I am. I asked you guys on Twitter to send me your setups and you guys did. I got a ton of responses and I do apologize if I don't include yours. I tried to include as many as I could. I just don't want to make the video too long. Before though, I do want to promote my Twitch channel because I know I'm not super consistent on YouTube, but I do stream daily over on my Twitch channel. It is so much fun. So if you guys want to join my community, get to know me better, and just come chill with me, the link will be down below.
Ash, Ducky 1-2 mini keyboard, HyperX Pulsefire Search mouse, Alienware AW2518H monitor, eWin racing chair, and an Alienware Aurora R8 PC.
One of my favorite setups just because it's not, obviously it's a little flashy, you know, you got the nano leaves which are beautiful by the way, you know, you got your LEDs, you got your fancy keyboards, but it's not too much. It's the perfect essentials and it just looks so clean because it also says a lot about you that you don't like to have 3 monitors, you're not making videos or streaming, you like to focus on your game and it fits you, and I think that's really cool. So yeah, the only negative I could say about this setup that takes away a point is those cables. Those cables, it's such a simple thing and it doesn't ruin the setup, but it just takes away some of that magic and makes it look a little less organized and takes away from the cleanness. So yeah, fix those cables. And one more thing that I absolutely despise about your setup that I fucking hate, and I want to give your setup a 0. I'm kidding. But one thing that I hate about your setup is the fact that you don't have a Fortnite supported creator code on. Code Vonix. But yeah, super clean setup, 9 out of 10.
Bennett, Scepter curved monitors, Blue Snowball microphone, Elgato key light, Corsair K70 MK2 keyboard, Logitech G502 mouse, and the Steel Series Arctic 7.
I know it sounds like I keep repeating myself over and over again, but I really do like this setup. It reminds me a lot of my setup. I love your 3 curved monitors though. I don't have 3 curved, and it really adds the aesthetic, like when you sit down you're kind of surrounded by your monitors, which I think is really cool. Extra points for the key light. I think it looks super clean. I myself really want to get that. The LEDs on your roof look super clean. I don't see that very often. Couple tips or recommendations that I noticed is, you know, you can see your cables like underneath. I can't see like completely underneath your desk, but underneath your monitors you can see little jumble that I recommend. It's a quick fix. Also, get a headphone hanger. It's super easy and really convenient. But yeah, my main recommendation would also be to either get an LED strip or get some stuff on the wall so you can really kind of narrow down the theme you're trying to go for, so it doesn't look as vague. Because I don't know, I think it's a blue theme, but you only have a couple blue things, so maybe add some more colors or maybe some stuff on the walls or whatever, something to kind of spice it up a bit. But overall it's a super nice setup. I really like it. 8.5 out of 10.
J, Logitech G610 keyboard, Razer DeathAdder Elite mouse, HyperCloud 2 headsets, Acer 75Hz monitor, and a PC with the GTX 1070 GPU and an Intel i7 CPU.
There's a lot going on in your setup. You have school supplies just all over. You have just everything is going on. One thing though that can come in handy is that you already have an L desk, and the beautiful thing about L desk is that you can kind of divide your desk into 2 parts. So I can see you have a lot of pencils and school stuff going on, so I would recommend having like one side of your desk, clean it up, make sure you clean up the cables and stuff, but just have your gaming stuff on one side and try to keep all your school stuff organized on the right side of your L desk so they don't kind of interfere and it doesn't look like this jumble of a mix. But your specs aren't bad, you know, your keyboard, your monitor, your PC is pretty good. You just have a lot of things going on that, you know, cleaning it up will give it a huge upgrade. And, you know, after that, if you want to, you know, maybe decorate it a little more so it kind of stands out and pops a little bit, that would be really cool. Overall, 5.5 out of 10.
Frenchy fries. BenQ GW2480 monitor, 65-inch 7 series 4K Samsung TV, a MacBook, a shit ton of LEDs, a Wii, a GameCube, a PS2, a PS3, a PS4, and a PC with the GTX 1070 Ti GPU and an Intel i7 CPU.
This is probably my favorite setup of the video just because of the story behind it. I don't want to explain the whole thing. I really just recommend going to his channel. I'll link it down below. It's a great video. The setup is amazing. I was looking at pictures of the setup for like 10 minutes trying to see something wrong with it, and I couldn't. So it's a freaking amazing setup. I love what you did for your parents. I love your channel, Frenchy Fries. One thing, fill up that fridge. 10 out of 10.
Why happy? LG ultrawide 4K monitor, GK61 wooden keyboard, a Corsair Harpoon mouse, and a PC with the GTX 1070 Ti GPU and a Ryzen 2600X CPU.
This is another one of those setups where it has a lot of little things sprinkled in that tell you a lot about the person who has the setup. You know, you got your Star Wars posters, you got your cube, your mouse pad. You know, I've never seen a mouse pad like that. It's a really cool mouse pad. The keyboard is super unique. I've never seen a keyboard like that. And overall, I really like this setup. I know it's not super flashy, but it's just a lot of little things throughout that, you know, make it unique. One thing that does though kind of come at a cost when you have all these unique little things is having an overall kind of flowing theme. Since everything is a little all over the place, it's kind of hard to see a theme, and it looks a little spontaneous, which is not a bad thing. Overall, it's a really good setup that I really like. 8 out of 10.
Smoochie.
Obviously, there's a ton of things I could recommend and say about this setup. It's not the best setup ever. Sorry, Smoochie. But he told me that he wanted some recommendations on how to begin taking his setup to the next level. So for sure, my top 2 things I would recommend to invest in first is a monitor and a mouse pad. Having a mouse pad is very important, and it's pretty cheap. Also, monitors aren't that expensive, and you can connect your laptop to your monitor so you don't have to look at such a tiny screen, and you don't have to worry about having those 2 keyboards kind of next to each other with your laptop keyboard and your actual keyboard. By the way, I love the bears in the corner. Very nice little touch. So hopefully those tips helped Smoochie. Overall, I'm gonna give this setup a 4 out of 10.
Xentra. AT2035 microphone, Sennheiser HC700 headphones, Corsair K95 Platinum keyboard, Final Mouse Ultralight Phantom mouse, and a PC with the GeForce RTX 2080 GPU and an Intel i7 CPU.
Alright, this is one of my favorite ones. I keep saying that. No, but for real, this setup, I literally could only think of one bad thing. The specs are great. You have a very clear theme. Your wall is decorated. Your cables are pretty much perfect, besides a cable dangling here and there, but that's, you know, to be expected. Your desk is nice and spacious. Your headphone is mounted. It's literally perfect, besides one little thing. You have a cat and not a dog. 9.9 out of 10.
Mammal. Razer Black Widow Chroma V2 keyboard, Razer Death Adder mouse, Blue Yeti microphone, Turtle Beach headset, Spectre E22-5B 165Hz monitor, and a PC with the GTX 1660 GPU and an Intel i5 CPU.
I love the super wide desk. I have one myself, and it removes so much of the clutter, and it's great. The blue theme is great, your wall is great, your PC looks good, and you did such a great job of hiding all those cables. 2 little things though that I find kind of awkward about your setup is that you have that empty space on the left, and because of that, everything kind of just looks off center. So maybe move around with the placement of your monitors. And another thing is your mic. I know it's probably not in the middle the whole time, but if it is, then just move it off to the side or get a headphone hanger. Having your mic in the middle of your monitors is very annoying.
I'd also recommend getting a headphone hanger so it's not just sitting on your desk, and also I recommend getting a bigger mouse pad so you have some more room for your mouse.
But overall, it's a great setup. 8.5 out of 10.
Zor. Logitech G Pro keyboard, SteelSeries mouse, LG UM69G ultrawide monitor, a foot hammock, and a PC with the GTX 1070 GPU and an Intel i7 CPU.
Really cool setup. It's got a very unique aesthetic. I know I'm probably saying this because I know you personally, but it's such a you setup, you know, like you really show your personality throughout your setup. The monitors are by far my favorite part. I don't feel like I could ever have an ultra wide. I don't know, it's just not for me. But when I see ultra wide, you know, setups, it's really cool, and especially that monitor that you have on top of your main monitor is also something that you don't see very often, that I think is really cool. Peripherals, I can't say that word. Peripherals. Peripherals are great. Cables are good. Oh, never mind. But yeah, the only recommendation I would give, which you talked about in your tweet, is is adding another monitor to the left. You're gonna kind of make it more symmetrical, but I do feel like you're kind of running out of space with that desk. So if you would get a bigger space, you would have more room, and you can maybe show your PC as well, because a lot of people, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I like to see my PC instead of like hidden in the back. But yeah, maybe expand your desk, get another monitor, and I feel like that would really be the final touch to this masterpiece. Besides that one cable, fix that goddamn cable. 9 out of 10.
Carter Bursch. Ducky went to mini keyboard, Logitech G Pro mouse, Technique gaming chair, BenQ monitor, a PS4, Blue Yeti microphone, and a HyperX headset.
Number 1, obviously those cables on the floor. I would recommend fixing those up. I love that you have your microphone mounted, but I would not recommend putting your headphones on your microphone. It's pretty creative though. I would recommend getting a cheap little hanger though. Overall, there's not like one wrong thing about this setup. It's just overall it's not very aesthetically pleasing. It's a little bland, so I would recommend working more on your theme and adding more things that will make it pop a little more, and kind of narrowing down the theme you're trying to go for. Add some more life to your setup. Overall, 7 out of 10.
Pepega.
Alright, this setup, I do have a lot to say. I feel like the cable management could use some improvement. The theme is a little all over the place. I can't tell really what you're trying to go for. Are you going for some earthquake vibes or maybe some vintage? It's kind of hard to see what you're going for. But overall, it's not bad. I have a lot of good things to say about this. No, I can't do this. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. I really did hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know by leaving a like and maybe by subscribing. Help me out on my road to 100K. And if you want to go above and beyond and help me even more, check out my Twitch channel where I do daily live streams and play games with you guys. I have a Minecraft server, which is a ton of fun. The link will be down below to that. It would mean the world. Also, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, but most importantly, please make sure to have a good day. Peace out.